Hello, vibrant souls. Welcome back to another episode of the Nereyda Ramirez podcast. If you haven't already, please follow and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. And like always, I'm so grateful that you're here. So thank you for tuning in for another episode. On this episode, we're going to be talking about how not to dread Mondays. So if you're dreading your work, or your Mondays, Monday morning or Sunday night, heck, Sunday morning when you wake up already dreading about the next day, this episode is for you. And one of the reasons why I feel so passionate about sharing this episode and talking about how not to dread our Mondays is because I hear it often. I hear it often with people just dragging their feet to work on Monday, and I hear it often with people waking up on Sundays already dragging their work week. And this may be y'all. Like, there might be some anxiety, there might be some uncertainty, whatever that feeling is, it's present. And I feel passionate about it because we have a short life. In the grand scheme of things, our life is pretty short. And to feel that way about a day or about a week is so saddening to me. And sometimes I've heard, I can't wait for my week to fly by for the weekend. Some of y'all are literally waiting for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to fly by so your weekend can come full into fruition, so you can have fun, so you can be at peace, so you can just relax. And that is very saddening to me because, like I said, life is short in the grand scheme of things. And when I hear people wanting their week to fly for their weekend, it's like we only have 52 weekends in one year. And for you to dismiss all the other days just for these 3 days is saddening because this is your life. Like, this is your everyday life and moments and choices to make love present, to make connection present, to have laughter and sense of humor, and to even have that relaxation during your week. Like, we don't have to wait for our weekends to make all of that happen. So I feel very passionate in sharing some tips, some of my own personal experiences. I posted it online on how people don't dread their Mondays or how they work through dreading their Mondays, and I'm going to share that with you guys. And I also feel very passionate because, like I said, every moment, every day, we have a chance to choose again with connection, with joy, with feeling relaxed. And it's saddening that work takes such a huge effect in our experiences in our lifetime. It fucking sucks that work is such the center and the core of taking away or robbing us from all these like really good feelings. And it doesn't have to be that way. And I get it. We're humans. We have human suffering. Through our human experience, we have suffering. We have our challenges. We have our feelings and our emotions and our struggles. However, for us to live like that and it be because of work is very saddening. It's very, very heartbreaking to me. And whether I know you personally or I don't, and you're tuning into my podcast episode, I care. Like, I totally care. And if you're open and if you're willing to try to choose again and bring your weekend feelings into your week, then I hope that it's great. Like, I hope that it happens that for you. Like, I hope that, those really good feelings are present for you during the week and you don't dread your week anymore. You don't dread it as much, right? Or if dread could subside and love could increase, or if dread could subside and connection could increase, like, that would be such a fucking wonderful thing from my heart to yours. So that is why I'm making this podcast episode. And again, I'm going to share some of my experiences because I know those experiences as well. Like I felt it twice with work, and I would love to share it with you guys and what other people have shared as well. But one of the things that that I noted down that I think makes me laugh too, or it makes me laugh, is that as I was telling my boyfriend about doing this podcast episode, his answer was, "Just don't go to work on Mondays." And some people actually responded with the same answer online, and if you can and it's an option, then fuck yeah, like why not? And I actually don't work on Mondays either. I'm actually filming this on a Monday, and not out of choice. It was just given to me to have Sundays and Mondays off. So I have the pleasure of enjoying my Mondays, and Tuesdays don't feel like a dread at all, but that's for other reasons as well. So one of the questions to start to ask ourselves as we're being curious and exploring and desiring, right, like the shift is, what are you dreading? And this is a moment to be really, really honest with yourself. And I don't want you to feel that you have to change anything as soon as something arises. I don't want you to feel that you have to, share with other people, because you don't have to. Take this moment for yourself to really just take a breather, right? And ask yourself that question. What is it that you're dreading on Mondays? What is it that is happening for you? What is that anxiety telling you? Is it the work itself? Is it a Monday meeting? Is it a specific person? Is it the drive to work? I know some of us have these long commutes for work. Is it that? And ask yourself. So take a moment right now to sit with that and be real honest with yourself. And I just, again, want to emphasize that as we bring that awareness within ourselves, we don't have to do anything about it. All we have to do in that moment is just listen to what arises. I know that when we start to be aware of certain stuff in our lives, it can be really, really scary because we don't know what's going to pop up. We don't know what the answer is going to be. And there's this like energy that comes through that we have to do something about it. And it's just a reminder that we don't. In this moment in time, we don't have to do anything about it. Just ask yourself and see what arises. So, moving forward, I've experienced this twice in my life. And the first time that I experienced it, there was a lot of changes happening within me. There was new awarenesses happening within me. There was a lot of growth happening within me, and those changes that was occurring within me were no longer in alignment with the job that I was at. So I was also starting to get into spirituality and our soul's purpose and our life purpose and how to fill our cup up, and none of that resonated or aligned again with the job, the desk job, the bank job that I had at the time. And it was really starting to feel conflicting. And yes, there was a lot of those dreadful feelings, and a lot of it too, and it may happen for you guys too, where a lot of it was also questioning, like, oh man, like what is the purpose of life? Like my soul is dying. And I didn't have those words exactly to express what was happening within me in the moment, but it really did feel like my soul was dying. And at the end of that shift, it felt like I had no energy to do anything else. It just felt so energy draining as well. And it was like, oh, just on to the next day, right? And oh, that constant feeling throughout the week. And I've always been like a person to say, in some sense, or not to say, but to feel it, how like live every day as your Friday. So even in that job, it was like, it's a fucking Wednesday. I'm gonna have wine after this work shift. I'm gonna pretend it's a Friday night. And that's how it helped me also get through the job. But that's what happened with my first job. the second, and I actually was in it for maybe like a year, maybe a year and a half before I quit. And what really made me quit was that I went to a convention, a Powerful You convention where Jay Shetty was there, Mel Robbins, Tom Bewley, and all these other beautiful motivational speakers. And it was a lot of, perspective and perception, and a lot of what I got, as well as other stuff that is in my book, The Vibrant Unknown, was just like that aspect of what's my purpose and I want to live in it. And this job is no longer it. It just was so loud and so clear. And it was such a good feeling at the convention that it just felt like I can't go back to that. Like, I can't go back to those feelings because they don't feel good. So I don't advise this at all. Like, I actually came back from the convention and I gave like a 4-day notice. Like, I'm done on Friday. And the my boss was, he was super kind, and all the good things, and he had mentioned, can you wait 2 weeks, and it was just this like strong no, like I can't, like I seriously can't. And I quit. Like, I totally quit. And the second time that I felt this way was actually recent, in one of my recent jobs, where the job did feel fulfilling. It aligned with, the career aspect of the coaching and the mental health. And it was fulfilling because I got to work with little kids. And yet it was starting to feel dreadful. And I knew that feeling because of what I had experienced in my other job like 7 years ago. So I knew the feeling and I was aware of what it was. And this time, like, I didn't question too much of it. It was just, oh, this feeling's present. This feeling is here. And what am I going to do about it? And again, maybe not for you in this moment in time, but because I had felt it before, it felt that for me right away. And I don't have an attachment to jobs. I know that a lot of people feel very, and that's not even a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing to have this attachment to your job. But for me, it feels the moment that I feel that feeling, or that it's time to go, it's like it's time to go. Like, it's totally time to go. I'm not gonna keep staying for another year, 2 years. Time to look for something else. Time to move on to something else before it gets really bad. Because again, from my experience with this other job where I waited like a year and a half, it's like for me, the longer that I waited, the more it felt like I was going into a hole where my soul felt like it was dying. I had no energy out of work after work. I didn't want to go to the gym anymore. And for me, it only got worse. So with the second job, it was like, okay, I'm aware of the dreadness. I'm aware that I don't want to show up anymore, even to the meetings. It's time for me to look for another job. It's time for me to transition. And luckily, like around the same time, my boyfriend and I were thinking about moving. So it was such a great transition of like, oh yeah, like I'm done with this work and we're moving. So it just worked out in alignment. It totally worked out. So, and if it's something about your job specifically, I actually do have a podcast episode about finding a job that's purposeful. And I'll put it in the links down below because I don't remember what number that podcast episode is. But it talks about, yeah, like how to find a job that's more aligning, that's more in connection with who you are and where you want to go, and finding a job that's meaningful, and I probably said it again, and purposeful, and that brings joy and connection into your life. So I'll put that episode down below. So like I mentioned earlier, like there's no rush into looking for something. There's no need for the stories or the anxiety kick in or even fear. In this moment in time, it's just sitting with it, sitting with the information and just getting curious with it. And heck, like if the first thing that pops up for you is to leave the job, rather than going into the fear or the anxiety, like ask yourself, dang, like what if it works out? Like what if there's something else out there that is in so much more alignment than where I'm at now, and it brings so much more peace into my life and so much more joy, and it doesn't make me feel drained. So rather than going into this story of shit, like, I don't like my job, how am I gonna do it with bills? Am I gonna find something better? Like, all the A through Z, step into the other aspect of, man, like, maybe my inner compass is guiding me to something more aligning, maybe to something that I've been wanting for a long time. Maybe for something new that's gonna help me propel my career and my personal life so much more. So make that shift and don't even give light to the other side. Just focus on this part of it. And in that moment, if your mind starts to go into doubt and fear, because it's gonna happen, just go back to what if it works out? Kind of like meditation, right? Like when we're meditating, if you meditate, we take a deep breath, we connect to our breath, and our thoughts start to kick in. And in that moment, it's a reminder, like, when you're aware that you're in your thoughts, let me connect back to my breath. So, exactly with this thought form, as you're noticing that answer kick in or that answer arise, and the stories are starting to kick in of fear, in some ways, connect back to your breath, connect back to what arose, and connect back to what if it works out? Use the what if it works out as a breath, as a moment of stillness and connection and returning back to that. so so yeah. So get curious, and for those who just aren't even in that moment of wanting to quit your job, maybe it pops up, but you just no, like that's not a thing right now, right? Like, or for those who don't necessarily want to quit your job, like, whatever that is, and that's not an option, that's totally okay. So, with that said, it's like, get curious as to what you can add to your Mondays. So, what's something that you look forward to on your weekends that makes you laugh, that makes you feel joyful, that makes you excited? How can you add that thing on Mondays? So, for me, one of the things that made me feel excited for the weekend was cooking with wine. And I started to do that during my week, and it added that joy. So, whatever that is on the weekends, add it to your Monday. And one of the things actually that happened, it was so interesting. Not that it relates to the dread, but it aligns to maybe our thoughts kicking in with, like, no, that's like a weekend thing, because it's not. It doesn't have to be. This week I was working, and I work from home, and I was telling my boyfriend how I was feeling tired. And he was like, doing his own thing, whatever. So I was texting him, and I was like, oh, I feel so tired. I'm gonna take a nap during my lunch. And he's so sweet. Like, he came in 10 minutes before I clocked out and put my bathing suit on the bed. He tied my hair. He got my sunglasses, and he was like, we're going swimming on your lunch. And my first thought was, no, 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 like, that's a weekend thing, because, like, I have to shower, and, like, I don't have time, I'm gonna smell like bleach, and all these thoughts kicked in. And one of the things that popped up for me about relationships, that I've listened to about the Gottmans, is the moments of connections with your partner, how it's not about, you know, Friday night, date night. It's not about, like, the gift giving, how a lot of those connections is leaning in and saying yes to your partner more often. So in that moment, it was just like, yes, okay, okay, like, we'll do this. Like, I'll put a timer on my phone, and I'll come back just in time. So, and it was so much fun. Like, it was such a good reset, refresher. It was such a good recalibration almost of my day. And rather than feeling tired, like, for the rest of my shift, I felt super energized and awake, and the cold water felt so good. And so I share that because it's the same thing in some ways about the weekend. Whatever you think that is only on the weekend, try it on a Monday. Try to see if you can do it on a Monday. And the other thing that also pops up is, like, going to the beach, going to the lake, going to the river. Like, that doesn't have to be just a weekend thing. You can go maybe Monday after work. It might not be as long, but even that moment, even if it's for 20 minutes to go out there, is a moment of recalibrating, refreshing, connecting with that joy, with that stillness, with that relaxation. And if you go with people, it's like a moment to connect with people. So get curious and ask yourself what you can add to your Mondays. And that could also be a very good point on how to look forward to something after work. And maybe even on Sunday, right? You can always reconnect with that even though there's dreadful for your Monday morning or your Monday day at work, like, I so look forward to something afterwards. Like, I have that thing already planned. It could be a class, it could be something new that you've been wanting to try. So, get curious with that too. Totally get curious with that. So, the other thing that also pops up is, what about a morning routine? So, what about a morning Monday routine that can build your foundation and help you propel your Monday, can help you start your Monday on a good note? So, whatever that is for you, it could be going to the gym. And mind you might have to wake up a little earlier, but the effects of it might be so fucking worth it. It will be so fucking worth it. Maybe it's going to the gym in the morning on Mondays. Maybe it's getting up an hour extra to make your coffee and to really just connect with yourself and the fresh morning crisp air. Maybe it's that extra hour in the morning, waking up earlier to have, the house or your place quiet and just have that time for yourself. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's just sitting outside, and whatever that morning routine is, add it to your Monday morning. And maybe it's yoga. It could be so many different things. And same thing, get curious with it. What is something that you know or that you're curious about that if it'll work, it will make you have a really good foundation for your Monday. And I've done this before too, where there are some days where my previous jobs where it felt like that dread, and it was like, okay, this Monday morning, I'm gonna get Phil's coffee. Like, that's gonna make me look forward to having that meeting, or my days, like, having a Phil's coffee next to me, or, like, doing yoga in the morning. So, whatever that is, do that for yourself. So, the other thing too that also pops up is, how can you fill your cup on a Sunday? So, before Monday starts, how can you fill your cup on Sunday? How can you add that joy? Again, same feelings that I've been expressing for the last 22 minutes of this podcast episode. What can you do on Sundays to add those real good feelings that will only have ripple effects for your Monday, that will only spill over to your Monday? And one of the things that my partner and I have actually done is that some Sundays, they're adventure days, right? And they have ripple effects on our weeks. And not that, I dread my weeks or anything. I'm not experiencing that in the moment, but it does add to what already feels good. So, same thing, right? Like, if you are dreading your week, it'll add to that. And you will feel better about it. You'll have those feelings lingering, and throughout your week, you'll think about it, and you'll have those good feels pop up, and it'll be that really good feeling to not hang on to for the rest of the day, but to be present with for the rest of the day. So that's something to also get curious about. And same thing, like, start earlier. Like, you can start on Friday as soon as you get off, and Saturday. And again, it's very different from, like, oh my god, Monday through Friday, I'm gonna just get through this week and I can't wait for the weekend. No, be very intentful about your weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, what can I do that's gonna add these good feelings, so for the rest of the week they'll also be present, right? So that could even be like a mental exercise, where if you already do something that's fulfilling on the weekends, how can you keep those feelings throughout the rest of your week? How can you stay in those feelings longer, so when those feelings of dread come in, the dread isn't as strong or as potent or as big as it used to be, right? So that also pops up. And yeah, so that's what pops up for me to ask you on getting curious on how not to dread Mondays. So again, if this resonates with you, I would love to hear about it and what you guys have to share. And I want to share with you what people shared on social media. So somebody commented. So this is on Facebook. So thank you guys. Like, huge shout out to those who commented on Facebook, on Instagram story. Super, super appreciative. It gives so much to think about and to reflect, and some of them made me laugh, and this one that I'm about to share actually made me reflect on how my boyfriend and I stay on gratitude. Which is another thing too, is like how Monday through Friday, like what are 3 things that you can say to yourself that you're grateful for that day? Like, what made you smile that day, right? Was it a coworker? Was it, I don't know, whatever that is, write it down. And it's about also bringing those real good feelings and bringing them more into the surface or into the depthness of our heart and being present with those. Because I feel that the more we practice those feel good feelings, the more we can work through the feelings of dread, the more the dreadness could subside, um, or it could help live through it, right? So, how do you not dread Mondays? So, somebody wrote, how fortunate am I to wake up each and every day healthy and capable to work and provide for my family? How blessed I am to be in a position I can afford the car, house, and hobbies I have. I've been trying to rewrite how I communicate challenges to myself. Bills suck, but how awesome it is that I'm able to put myself in the position to have them. Which, oh my god, I fucking love so much, because I've also made those shifts where, yes, like bills suck. But at the same time, I also started feeling grateful for them, even bills that are a credit card that I've had years ago. And I started looking at it as, in that moment in time, it gave me pleasure. Like, it gave me what I wanted or what I needed. So I'm going to be thankful that I had this card to pay for it at the time. And same now, it's like I'm grateful that I have this card, that I have this bill, that I was able to do that, whatever thing it was, and I can pay for it right now. So that's like a way of looking at it too. Love it. So another person put, I refuse to work on Mondays. Therefore, I love Mondays. So another person said, take Monday slow, still view it as a rest day, which I also love. Haven't heard of that one before, and I really love that one too, because it's true. It's like, oh, who's to say that we can just take it slow on that Monday and still view it as a after rest day or pre-rest day or just a fucking rest day. Fucking go back to bed after. Right? Like, go back to sleeping and resting and watching movies. Okay. Another person put, don't work on Mondays like me. So many of these, like, don't work on Mondays. And then, let's see, somebody put, I decided to become self employed, so I no longer had to think about Mondays the same way. Whoop whoop. Okay, another person put complete mindset shift. No more scary Sundays with an outlook of value and gratitude. So same thing, gratitude, right? Like gratitude and value. And then somebody else posted, I don't dread on Mondays considering my Mondays are on Saturdays for me. LOL. So Monday is already day 3 for my work day, which I also love. So that's some of the answers that I got from people online. And let me see if I think I have one more. But again, like I got a lot of those don't work on Mondays, which I thought were freaking hilarious. I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah, so I think that's it for the comments. And again, let me know in the comments down below how you work through it, how you live through it, like what do you do? And again, there's no judgment if you just wait for the weekends. So let's see. Yeah, somebody posted, I dread Mondays. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So yeah, guys, so let me know if any of that resonates with you. I can't wait to hear about what arose for you during this podcast episode. And with that said, yeah, come on. Like, we have such a, like, beautiful existence on Earth, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it, especially with current times and so many different places in the world. And yet, our existence could be beautiful, and we could choose to live in joy and love and connection and freedom. And these moments, right? They are these moments of choosing again, practice of choosing again, and practice of not making work such a focus in our life, such a like, I don't know, I'm thinking of a bag for some reason, such a such an anchor of our life, right? Like other countries, I don't know if I said it in the beginning of the podcast, it's like other countries value connection and they value the meaning of, our life and purpose, and they don't take work as serious as the US does. So from my heart to yours, I hope you guys have a beautiful fucking week and weekend, and let me know what arises for you guys. So with that said, much, much, much love.